Let's go back to our reporter Heidi Giokos now, who's in Ennerdale, south of Johannesburg, near a landfill site where rescue operations have been put on hold. It's believed several people are still missing after a landfill site collapsed on waste pickers. The site caved in while waste pickers were looking for recyclable material. A body was retrieved on Friday, and it's not yet clear how many more are missing. Let's cross live to Heidi now. Now, Heidi, when we spoke to you earlier, you reported to us that there was no signs of the search resuming. It's seeming to be really difficult for authorities to get a handle on who would have been on that land site at the time of that collapse. What is the latest you have for us?
Yes, I think it's important to highlight the fact that the search operation for today has not even started. And the reason for this is because emergency services for the city of Johannesburg are still trying to establish whether or not there are any people that are not accounted for at this stage. We do know that one waste picker, a female, tragically lost her life on Friday when the landfill basically caved in and collapsed. And that body has since been retrieved, but there are conflicting reports as to whether or not there are any more missing people or people that are unaccounted for. Initially, there were reports of 3 people, the one, of course, being accounted for, but now there are some kind of reports that's from community members and waste pickers themselves that they don't know of anybody else that is accounted for, and those that were here on that Friday when the landfill did cave in, everybody that was around have been accounted for. I want to ask my colleague Jill Matlada to just show you that emergency services are still on site at this stage. So it does show you that they are, of course, just waiting for the go-ahead. What we have also been told is that we do know that there is currently a meeting underway with authorities and community members, and they then will report back as to the exact number and probably finer details as to whether or not there are any individuals unaccounted for. But for now, the search and operations have not even started for the day. It does remain quite a dangerous situation, I must add, Marcel, because nobody really knows how this landfill and what exactly will happen should operations continue. So they, of course, have to be very careful. Nobody really knows what will happen because, you know, we have also been told by waste pickers that it is a dangerous situation. It does seem to be caving in, but operations will only continue if they are told by community members that they will have to start again. So for now, officials are just on standby.
Spoke to one of the waste pickers there in our crossing to you a little earlier, and this story has rather tragically put the spotlight on this very unregulated and informal sector where people are eking out an existence and risking their lives often just to try and put food on the table. What did this waste picker tell you about circumstances there?
Yes, certainly. I must say, Marcel, it's rather tragic to be here and just to see the living conditions of many people here. But we did get to speak to one waste picker, Sipamandla, who told us that he has no other choice but to literally sift through this landfill and get whatever material he can to survive and send his children to school. He spoke about how this is a dangerous site, but he has no other choice, just like the rest of the waste pickers here. He says that the only person that he saw tragically basically get sucked into the landfill was the woman that they were able to retrieve her body on Friday. But he says he didn't see anybody else, and he says that his friends and his peers, they have all been accounted for. Of course, it does remain quite a tragic story because they have no other choice but to literally sift through all of this, as I mentioned. And unfortunately for them, it remains a very dangerous site because nobody really knows what will happen if they continue going through this landfill. I just want us to listen to his account.
We were working there on the side where the incident happened, but it's maybe within 45 minutes we slow sebenza, then in Taba just hour. Those were close to me, bekwabantu ukuthi bengilo ngikhuluma nabo but one bathi ukhuphukile waya phezulu then laba abanye bebekade on the other side. I never saw them all ukuthi abobani yabo. Yes, by the time mountain iwa kulana I saw one of the ladies vele avalwa mountain, but I heard ukuthi she's also the one that abamtholile la entabeni. Yeah, it's quite dangerous, but there's nothing we can do. That's where we survive. Nathi sama khona ukuthi sithole something ukuthi silale sidlele nabantwana bakwazi ukuya esikoleni bacarry.
The voice there of the waste picker that our reporter Heidi Giokos spoke to a short while ago. Thank you so much for that update. Heidi Giokos reporting to us live there from that landfill site in Enidale, where she has confirmed that any type of search or rescue operation has not resumed as yet.